How often do you beat yourself up when you don't complete everything that's on your task list for the day? Now, this has always been a problem for me. I get to the end of the day, I look at my task list and I go, oh, I didn't do all those tasks. And I used to get a little bit angry with myself saying, come on, I'm supposed to be good at productivity and time management. But then I began to realize something that I had been missing for quite a long time. And I think you probably are missing this little bit too. What I realized was I am not actually a machine. So when I went about planning my day, I was thinking I'm going to be able to do 20 or 25 or even 30 tasks a day, no problem at all. And I never found that to be reality. Now, over the last 17 days, I've been tracking my performance. I've been measuring how I have performed against how many tasks I've done per day and generally how I feel at the end of the day. And I found something really rather surprising that made me realize that there's no point in beating myself up, because what I discovered is that I'm a human being. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you know that I advocate that you should be doing a proper weekly planning session, and you should also be doing a mini daily planning session to ensure that you actually are staying on track to what you want to get done. Now, one of the things I realized quite a long time ago was that there's no point in focusing on individual days simply because there's too many unknowns. You're going to get an urgent email. Your boss is going to call you and tell you to drop everything. A colleague is going to need your help, or you may even have a family emergency to deal with that just basically torpedoes your day. So when you're planning on a daily basis, you do need to have the flexibility and understanding that things may not go according to plan. This is why planning for the week actually really matters. When you plan for the week, what you will discover is that if you have a bad day, which you are going to have, and which I had quite a lot of them over the last 17 days, it doesn't actually matter when you have those bad days, because there's going to be good days as well. And just to give you a ratio, when I looked at it over the last 17 days, what I noticed was over a period of 7 days, so over a period of 2 weeks, I would on average have 2 good days where I'm highly focused, can concentrate on a lot of work. I'm also going to have 2 bad days where I feel tired, I feel lethargic, I'm just not in the mood to do the work that I'd planned to do that day. And I'm going to have 3 meh days, or days that I would consider to be meh. You know, they're okay. I get the important stuff done. It's a bit of a struggle, but I'm not really proud of what I've actually achieved. But I can work with that. You know, 2 good days, 2 bad days, and 3 meh days. That's my average, and I can work with that. Now, sure, if you were a machine and you had 2 good days, 2 bad days, and 3 meh days, somebody would be pulling you apart and trying to fiddle about to make sure to figure out what was wrong. But the thing is, you are a human being. You have emotions. You have differing energy levels. You have a sleep requirement, which you may not already know what that is. You might think you can do 6 hours no problem, but actually you need 7.5. Who knows? You need to do the experiment and do a few little tests on yourself to figure out what your sleep patterns are. You could have a big fight with your partner in the morning, which is just going to completely distract you all day. And you could end up with some kind of emergency being thrown at you that is just going to really rile you and make you angry, which means there's no way you can focus on that really important piece of work that you had planned to do that day. Now, there's nothing wrong with being human. I would much rather be a human being than a machine just going through the motions every day. So I would be celebrating this, but we do need to work with the problem that we're going to have varying quality days each day. And that's where planning the week comes in. If you plan for the week and give yourself a set number of objectives for the week, you're going to find that if you do have a bad day, it doesn't matter. You can catch up tomorrow or the day after, because on average, you're going to have one good day for every bad day. Now, we can play around with that. We can learn that the right kind of foods to eat at lunchtime so that we're not, in that sugar dump in the afternoon where we go. We also can work on the fact that we probably need a little bit more sleep than we're getting and focus on getting to bed so that we are more productive and more focused in the day. But life, unfortunately, is not quite as simple as being able to do that. I know right now we're in the kind of the stormy season, and it's quite often that at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, a big clap of thunder is going to make my dog bark and wake me up, and then it takes a little while to get back to sleep. So there's too many variables to be able to consistently guarantee that tomorrow I'm going to be able to do amazing things, because that's not really how the world works. And so there's no point in beating ourselves up trying to get things done when we just haven't got the energy, the motivation, or even the willpower to get it done. So this weekend, when you do the weekly plan, don't look at it in terms of what you're going to try and get accomplished on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Look at it as a whole. This is what I want to get done this week. I want to move this project forward. I want to spend a quality afternoon with my family. I want to be able to visit my parents at some point in the week. Look at things as a whole. Now, you can generally set out, say on Wednesday evening, I'm going to call in and see my parents. Or on Saturday afternoon, I'm going to take my kids to play football or cricket, cricket, because we're in August at the moment. I can do things like that, but I also you want to be kind of being accepting that maybe you can't do it on Saturday because it's raining, and if it's cricket, rain will stop play, so perhaps you'll have to go and do it on Sunday. But have that flexibility. But the worst thing you can do is beat yourself up every time you don't complete your tasks. Your task manager should not be controlling you. It should not be your master. You need to be the master of your task manager. And just to give you some reassurance, I would say that on average, I am rescheduling 30 to 40% of my tasks each day. And I'm comfortable with that. Because what I want you to do, and what I do, and what you should be doing, is focusing on what is the important stuff today. Get that done, or get as much of it as you can get done today without busting a gut, and then saying, right, well, I didn't get these things done, so okay, I can do those on Wednesday, I might do those on Thursday, or I might do those on Monday. Be flexible. And just be kind to yourself. There's no point in beating yourself up because you just don't have the energy or the motivation to get through the day. It's a bad day. We all have them. You may even have a meh day, which means you just get what you can get done and just call it quits. But you are going to have good days. And one of the things I love about good days is I might have a set of 15 tasks to do for that day, but I still feel so good that I'll do 5 more. So I end up catching up by the end of the week anyway. So it's not really about what you get done in the day, it's what you get done in the week. Now, if you want to learn more about getting better organized and just becoming a little bit more focused on your 2 big things each day, then this video up here will help you.